comes after. And it's I think for a lot of us, we deal with anxiety, we deal with worries, concerns, very much part of the human condition. And I know for me personally, I always feel like, oh, now I've finally gotten over it. And then there's always the reminders, no, you haven't. Any little thing can trigger it. And that's true for all of us, I would imagine. And we all have that perfect storm of things that can create a whole lot of anxiety. So I want to read for you a passage today. And it's a beautiful one, talking about an Old Testament line from God, and it speaks to a beautiful way to kind of think about holding this idea of peace in times of anxiety. So the quote is, "Do not be afraid, I am a shield to you." And that idea of a shield, so let's just look at that. God saying, do not be afraid, I'm a shield to you. First off, do not be afraid. Many of you know this because I say it a lot. A lot of pastors say it all the time. Number one command in the Bible. And then here's God saying, I'm a shield. Now, there's some wisdom even in that. The idea that we tend to think life we will move through without battles, without storms, without worries, especially if we just do it right. And unfortunately, that's not how it works. We're all going to have tribulations. We're all going to have challenges. We're all going to have this, that, and the other thing happen. No matter how right we do it, those things are going to be very true. And then, we're asked in the new church to look at it at a deeper level. And I want to read that for you. About what happens and when that peace comes. So all trials carry with it some kind of despair. So consolation, and think peace there. So peace follows. Anyone who's going through a test, not that God tests us, but we're going through a test. Anyone who is being tested becomes anxious. The anxiety causes a state of despair over the outcome. The actual struggle is nothing else. So there's a lot of wisdom in that, because it's saying that the problem may not be the thing, though the thing can feel like that is really the problem. The problem is the anxiety and the despair that goes along with it. Because you think, folks, with anxiety and despair, just follow those out in our lives. Like if we really are coming from an anxious place is making us despair that nothing will ever be good again. That leads to a certain way of living that is not going to be very fruitful. That's for sure. And I think of Byron Katie's great idea and great phrase, great concept, which is, we have to think, what are we with that? In other words, what are we with anxiety and despair in our lives, and what are we without it? And two very different things. It's interesting that once we can work, as we continue to work at that anxiety and despair, that the relief comes a little bit later on. Like we will have times where we're just sitting in that. We may be sitting in it for an hour, a day, a week, even longer. But that idea that joy comes in the morning, to use another biblical phrase, that over time that will ease. And that's probably the most significant thing we can remember, is that this will change. This will go. We will not be caught into all the anxiety and despair for all of our lives. We just won't. That's not how it goes. And there's great beauty in that. And there's parts, folks, of that, I think in this season that feels so hard is just to keep on coming back to remembering, like, let's just have a sense of peace. Let's let that be our core, because it's easy to get, no matter what position you have or where you might lie on any number of continuums we put out there. Anxiety and despair is not going to be our friend. That peacefulness, that faith, that general trust. We do what we can, and then we let it go. The beautiful phrase that I love is, plow the field and leave the rest to grace. I think that is really true. We plow the field, we get peaceful, we've done our bit, we leave the rest to grace. So that's the thought for today, friends. I hope that makes a lot of sense, and I hope you have a wonderful, beautiful day ahead, finding a little bit of peace, and just remembering that anxiety and despair, that's the actual struggle. We can get on with solving problems as best we can. Not all problems are solvable, but we can do what we can there. And it's just be aware of how anxiety and despair is showing up, and just be a little prayerful about finding that peace that passes all understanding. So that's the thought for today, friends. And what we're going to do now is we're going to shift gears, as we do here at New Church Live. We're going to do our little meditation. We're going to do a prayer bow, little meditation. After we do the meditation, we're going to do a little blessing, and then we will say hi to folks on social media. So the prayer bell, just to get us in a good space. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I. Be still and know that. Be still and know. Be still and. Be still. Be. Our Father, who art in the heavens, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, as in heaven, so upon the earth. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we also forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you, bring you peace, and bring you home. Amen. All right, dear friends, let's get a little cheery hello to folks here on Facebook and see how everybody is doing. All right, there we go. And again, I hope everybody has a beautiful day ahead of them. Busy day in our life, that's for sure. Gabriella says, good morning. Your message is so appropriate. Thank you. You're most welcome. It needs, we need to say it over and over again. Sherry says, good morning. Thank you for the encouragement. Tensions are high these days. They sure are. And we can't control what's out there. We can control what's in here. And how do we find that peace? That's really important. Melissa, good morning to you. I hope you're doing well. And Linda, good morning to you. I hope you're doing well as well. And flip it on over here. All right. Okay. That was the limit of our comments there, which is great. Wonderful to hear from you folks. So God bless. Wishing you all the very best. We'll talk